Good morning. I'm going to call the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners of April 4th to order. Roll call, please.
Brother.
Here.
McGuire.
Here.
Moran. Here. Ortega.
Aye.
Reinhardt.
Aye.
Zhang.
Here.
And Maris Castillo.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and I'm going to turn to Commissioner McGuire for our land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is my honor to present the land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life. And some have lived on this land since time immemorial. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We are standing on the ancestral lands of the Dakota people. We want to acknowledge the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, and the other nations of people who also called this place home. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the treaties made by the tribal nations that entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands. Consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events.
Thank you, Commissioner McGuire. I have our agenda of April 4th, 2023 presented for approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
McGuire.
Aye.
Moran.
Aye.
Ortega.
Aye.
Reinhardt.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Brother.
Aye.
And Maris Castillo.
Aye. We have the minutes from March 21st, 2023 presented for approval. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
McGuire.
Aye.
Moran.
Aye.
Ortega.
Aye.
Reinhardt.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Brother.
Aye.
And Maris Castillo.
Aye. Next, we have our proclamation about Public Health Week, and Commissioner Moran will present that. If you're here for the proclamation, please join her at the dais. And it seems odd to only have a Public Health Week after the last 2 years. Just not quite enough.
Good point.
Welcome. We're so Minnesotan. Everyone's moving to the back row. Come forward. Come forward.
This is not a shy.
Right. We're friendly. Come forward. There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am honored today to present this proclamation declaring this week Public Health Week. So I have the proclamation here before the board, and it goes like this. Whereas the week of April 3rd is National Public Health Week, and the 2023 theme is Centering and Celebrating Cultures in Health. And whereas the goal of the National Public Health Week is to recognize the contributions of public health in improving the health of all people and achieving racial and health equity. And whereas reducing racial and ethnic health disparities related to COVID-19 deaths, vaccine access, and testing is an ongoing concern of public health as it enters its third year of responding to the global pandemic. And whereas understanding racism as a public health crisis is fundamental to addressing other vital health outcomes such as chronic disease prevention, maternal child health, investigating and containing infectious diseases, injuries and violence prevention, and environmental justice. And whereas strengthening the public health system and workforce is vital to transforming a health system focused on treating illness into a health system focused on preventing disease and injuries and promoting wellness. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners declare the week of April the 3rd, 2023 as Public Health Week in Ramsey County and recognizes the efforts of St. Paul, Ramsey County Public Health, and its partners in improving community health. Thank you. So here's the speakers here, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner Moran. Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Acting County Manager Tolzman. It's great to be here with you this morning. Thank you for declaring April 3rd as Public Health Week here in Ramsey County. This morning, I'm joined by my leadership team and staff from Public Health. I'll ask that folks come up and introduce themselves.
Excellent. Welcome. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. I'm Gabrielle McNeil. I'm the supervisor with the Community Engagement and Health Promotion Team.
Hi, my name is Annalise Jackson. I'm the interim program manager with Clinic 555.
Good morning. Jesse Saavedra, Opioid Prevention Coordinator. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jesse.
Good morning, everyone. Diane Holmgren, Acting Deputy Director, Interim Deputy Director for Public Health and Administration Division Manager.
Good morning, Diane.
Good morning, Ray Eden Frank, Interim Environmental Health Division Manager.
Good morning, Kathy Duffy. I manage the WIC Division.
Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Lynette Cheetah, Interim Projects Coordinator.
Hi, Michelle Dean. I manage the Correctional Health Division.
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Kari Umanzo. I'm the Racial and Health Equity Liaison for Public Health.
Excellent.
Good morning. Nice to see everyone.
It's been a minute.
Dr. Lynn Ogawa, Medical Director for St. Paul Ramsey County Public Health.
Good morning, Michael Reed. I'm Environmental Health and Division Manager for Recycling and Energy.
Excellent. Good morning, Michael.
Dana Janowiak, Public Health Nurse.
Excellent. Thank you for doing that. It was really important for us to see the broad spans of public health in Ramsey County.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is important, and you've seen a lot of us, but maybe not all of us, over the last 3 years. So St. Paul Ramsey County is the largest full-service public health department in the state of Minnesota. We provide a wide range of programs and services to Ramsey County residents and also residents from across the state. We do this because we are all in this together. So I want to say thank you to the 345 staff that do life-saving work every day here in our county, that work to achieve race and health equity on a wide range of health outcomes, that take the time to build relationships and trust with clients we serve, and for the dedication shown over the last 3 years since the pandemic started. Public health professionals have been shaping our county and state for better since long before COVID arose. From expanding access to immunizations, to improving and promoting mental health and well-being, to advocating for prevention across the lifespan. National Public Health Week is a time to recognize the contributions of public health and highlight issues that are important to improving the health of our communities. This year, we are centering and celebrating cultures in health to ensure everyone in all cultural communities has a chance at a long and healthy life. To do so, we must address and prevent the underlying causes of poor health outcomes and disease risk. We can use social determinants of health to understand how those causes are different for each person based on various factors like race, ethnicity, age, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, where a person lives, access to care, education, food, housing, and their financial situation. As your local public health department, We can do something about this, the determinants of health, and we are. We have a specific focus on race and health equity and inclusion to ensure decisions are made with everyone's health in mind. We can build healthier communities and eventually the healthiest county. But we need your help and the help of our community partners, providers, and community members to get there. Responding to climate crisis, reducing waste, enhancing our environmental health services, ending hunger one family at a time through WIC, addressing the opioid epidemic, addressing housing security through house calls, working to serve children, teens, and families through family health and child and teen checkups, providing critical health care to people that are incarcerated through correctional health, providing case TB care and case management, increasing access to sexual health or sexual violence services, responding to COVID through health protection, centering race equity through our Trusted Messenger work in our Community Innovation Program, and continuing to provide a wide array of services to our community. As we look ahead, I ask that we seize the opportunity to better prepare ourselves for the future and to build a strong public health system here in Ramsey County that centers and celebrates cultures and health every day. One of the daily public health themes this year is reproductive and sexual health. For more than 50 years, Public Health's Clinic 555 has offered free and low-cost sexual and reproductive health services for adults and teens. I'd like to welcome Annalisa Jackson, our interim Clinic 555 program supervisor, to provide more information about this program, a new opportunity that we have, in our virtual Public Health Week event this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Holly. Welcome, Annalise.
Thank you. So my name is Annalise Jackson. Good morning, commissioners. Thank you for having me today. So our team has had an eventful year. I would like to celebrate the work we have done and the lives we have impacted. As we begin this week highlighting, centering, and celebrating cultures and health, I am reminded that, as Director Holly said, Clinic 555 is the second largest STI clinic in the state of Minnesota, and we have provided sexual health services to underserved communities for over 50 years, including those at highest risk for unintended pregnancy and STIs. We provide pregnancy testing and counseling, family planning methods, STI services, including expedited partner therapy, adolescent services, and hepatitis C testing and treatment. We focus on prevention and preventative care. We offer annual exams, cervical and breast cancer screenings, PrEP and immunizations, including the COVID-19 vaccine. In 2022, we saw over 3,000 clients at 6 locations and 27 mobile outreach sites. Our locations include the primary clinic in downtown St. Paul, 3 county correctional facilities, detox, and Job Corps. In 2022, 65% of our clients were Black, Indigenous, or people of color, 67% were Ramsey County residents, and over 90% fell under the federal poverty level. In June, we responded to the monkeypox or Mpox outbreak. We administered 352 doses of the Mpox vaccine. We also conducted 3,691 chlamydia tests, over 3,700 gonorrhea tests, over 2,100 syphilis tests, 1,300 hepatitis tests, and over 2,500 HIV tests. We see higher rates of chlamydia and syphilis in the correctional facilities, so we responded by implementing an opt-out testing to ensure all justice-involved people are offered STI testing. We currently have 107 clients receiving PrEP, which is the medication that's highly effective in decreasing the risk of acquiring HIV. Our outreach team will be expanding in the coming months through a newly acquired mobile medical unit called the Caravan. The Caravan will bring family planning and syringe services to the community, decreasing barriers such as transportation and healthcare. We plan to have a ribbon-cutting ceremony this spring, and we would welcome you to attend. We are currently looking forward to expanding more on our work through an upcoming Public Health Presents presentation. That will be on Thursday from 12 to 1:30 p.m., where we will detail our history, services, and plans for our caravan. I have been highlighting Clinic 555 and the innovative ways we are reducing barriers and increasing access to quality care. But we in public health are not one clinic. We are a unit, a safety net made up of public health nurses, doctors, medical assistants, health educators and social workers, advocates, administrators, emergency response, correctional staff, environmental health, disease investigators, and so on. We are public health. And I am so incredibly thankful to be part of this amazing team of people who have the heart and the commitment to our public health mission, which is to protect and improve the health of people and the environment of Ramsey County. Thank you.
Thank you.
I must say, I am amazed at the great work that Ramsey County Health that you're doing. It's fantastic. I have a question, though. Is it okay for a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Clinic 555 is an overarching concept of the work that you do. Yes. It's not just a location, because there's many locations.
Yes.
All right. So with that, I must present this awesome proclamation to Director Hollins and her team for their fantastic work of really creating a space where residents, men, women, children, are safe and more healthy. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We're gonna get if you all want to move in a little. Move in, we'll get a picture. Can we see? No hiding. Come on, Jesse, we want to see your face.
We're going to take a few. 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. Thank you all so much for coming, and congratulations. You're still smiling even after the last 3 years, which is a testament to your fortitude. Okay, we're going to turn to Commissioner McGuire for our administrative items. Commissioner McGuire.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move the following items on our agenda. Item number 4, the agreement with Morcon Construction Company for the security fencing enhancements project at the Ramsey County campus locations in Arden Hills and Little Canada. Item number 5, our grant award from the Minnesota Department of Human Services Office of Economic Opportunity for Shelter Program. Item number 6 is our 2023 to 2027 Transportation Improvement Program. Number 7, our 4th amendment to lease agreement with the state of Minnesota for space at Metro Square Building. And number 8, our amended Minnesota Opioid State Subdivision Memorandum of Agreement. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, a roll call, please.
McGuire.
Aye.
Moran. Aye. Ortega.
Aye.
Reinhardt.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Freda.
Aye.
And Modis Castillo.
Aye. Next, I'll kick off our legislative update, but there's so much going on, and I know all of you have been at the Capitol. Feel free to assist in getting the remarks, but I'll start by saying that today at 5 is the third deadline at the legislature. As a refresher, this means that each omnibus bill has to pass out of its committee and be ready to go to Ways and Means or Finance. While many of the smaller or easier ones are done, I know that Senate Health and Human Services is going at 8 this morning, so as we're speaking today, as well as the House Housing Bill and House Transportation Bills are both up in taxes as of this morning, and they each contain a Metro-wide sales tax, and I know we've all discussed parts or portions of that. Right now in the Senate Health and Human Services Committee, our Heading Home Ramsey bill is funded with a direct allocation to Ramsey County at $6.8 million a year for the next 4 years. Our ask was 15 million, so we're going to have to need to lobby and work really hard to make our case and to make sure it comes out of the conference committee. Unfortunately, on the House side and Chair Pinto's committee, they went with a plan to give all the money to DHS and make us and Hennepin County apply for it in a competitive pool. There are several reasons why that doesn't work, and so we'll be continuing to push for the Senate position. Government relations staff is pulling together a summary document of these bills that they'll send around as soon as it's finished later this week. From that, there'll be a good list of Ramsey County and East Metro projects with line items. In our conversations, we thought there's so many things going on, both things that we have asked for and some things that we didn't ask for that are in omnibus bills. So we thought a spreadsheet with kind of overall, what does it look like for Ramsey County in the weeks ahead. And so as soon as that's completed, we'll make sure all the commissioners and staff get that. Taxes and bonding are still hearing some straggler or late introduction bills. For instance, the city of St. Paul had a late introduction TIF extension for their area around the River Center bill that some of us were involved with last week, making sure that it worked for the county, and that's up today in Senate taxes. Lastly, we're very active at the Capitol last week. Commissioner Moran and Reinhardt testified in taxes and bonding. I was happy to testify in capital investment about River's Edge and Rice Street, as well as our Heading Home Ramsey in the Senate. And I suspect others were there. I know some of you were also in Washington, D.C. last week, but you came back and had impact. And thank you, Commissioner Fretham, for reaching out to Representative Pinto as well as Commissioner Moran. So if anyone wanted to add any details that I might have missed for this crazy last week at the legislature. Anyone? Okay. All right. Wow, I nailed it. That's great. Yeah. We're going to turn over to our Acting County Manager, Elizabeth Tolzman, for County Connections.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. It's been a while since we met, so I have a few county connections. Then we'll do an introduction of a new member of Ramsey County. The very first connection, so as you know, we have a strategic priority around putting well-being and community at the center of justice systems transformation. We were recently notified that family-wise, during Child Abuse Prevention Month, they honor organizations and collaboratives with the Pinwheel for Prevention Award, and they awarded it to Transforming Systems Together here at Ramsey County. There were 14 awardees, and TST was recognized for funding community organizations and leaders working to prevent child abuse and aid those affected by the child protection system. For our residents at home, TST is a board of community members that review grant applications to ensure underserved organizations and individuals have an opportunity to receive funding. Their work with systems leaders is transformative and assists in implementing reform policies, mandates, and legislation to reconstruct the system. So kudos to the Transforming Systems team and the community in achieving that award. The second update I want to share is, so what happens when you put a judge, a workforce solutions director, and a community corrections director in a room together? Great things happen. So I really want to acknowledge a project called Power Within Us, and this is what happened when Judge Castro, Director Monica Long, and Director Link Becker came together, and they were actually at a TST meeting, just kind of kicking it. And they came together with this amazing workforce program. So Power Within Us helps support young adults ages 16 to 24 who are currently under the supervision in Ramsey County, and they're connected to paid job training and education programs. Some benefits of this program is they receive help and support to remove barriers to employment. They get individualized career exploration, professional development, paid internships and job search, hands-on experience, IT career training, as well as training in the trades and construction and mentorship as well. So it's a great program that putting three entities together, coming together for a great idea. So I want to acknowledge and recognize that great work. The third update is just a reminder for the board and also our residents that the 2023 property tax statements and 2024 valuation notices will start arriving in mailboxes in residents this week or even last week. So there's samples of what that looks like in an email that was sent to you from Interim Director and Auditor Treasurer Tracy West. But just in case you start getting phone calls from constituents, just want to give you guys a heads up that that is in the mail. And then finally, I just want to recognize that the Economic Growth and Community Investment Procurement and Contracting Action Team is hosting a CERT Connect event tomorrow on Wednesday from 8 to 10 a.m. at the Shoreview Community Center. Commissioner Fretham will be at that event. And what this does is to connect small business owners to county departments to build relationships for construction and construction-related efforts. EGCI will be represented, but it also includes representatives from the Tax Forfeited Land Department, Procurement, City of St. Paul, CERT program, and some of our suburban cities. We currently have over 100 businesses signed up for this event, so it'll be fantastic. Wow. And again, that relates to our strategic priority of building intergenerational prosperity for racial and economic inclusion. I'm going to keep promoting our strategic priorities while I'm at this chair here. And the very last update, I'm actually going to hand it over to Sam Clark to introduce and announce our Jada Lewis, who's been appointed as our new director of our Civil Division. So,
yeah, please, Sam, take the podium.
All right, good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Today is an exciting day for me personally. I realize 2 of you have become new board members since we announced in September that I would be moving to become the Chief Deputy. And I'm just really excited we've gotten to this point. I'm going to hand the mic over to Jada, but before I do, I just wanted to describe our process and set the table for her. So we had some stellar candidates. Our interview panel included Ryan O'Connor and Alex Kutza. Interviews were back in January, but John Choi quickly picked the star he wanted to join as the director of the Civil Division, and he was willing to wait. So while I've been doing double duty, I've just been patiently waiting for this day to get the chance to introduce Jada. And just on a personal note, I'd say I am so proud of having been associated with the Civil Division. It's a group of about 24 dedicated legal professionals, many of whom I know you all don't interact with daily, but I do and we do. So I'm excited for Jada to take over as the director and to introduce herself.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam. Welcome, Jada.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to lighten your load here, Sam, and step in. This is a homecoming of sorts for myself, as after clerking for Judge Bransford, I came on as a county attorney in the criminal division and then spent some time in the civil division. Then I ventured out into private practice and did a ton of stuff as a civil litigator and went in-house, and now I'm coming back to serve the constituents of Ramsey County. So it's a full circle moment for me. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to partner and work with you in the future and help resolve your legal issues as they come up. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
So we'll be seeing Jada at our table starting next week or soon. Sam?
I should have also said, sorry, Commissioner, we're working on a transition. I wanted to support Jada and however she wants to be supported. So I might be here another week or 2, but it won't be much longer. So
we're not kicking you out, but we look forward to working with Jada.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sam, and welcome, Jada, to our table. All right, is that it?
Yes.
County Manager. Okay, so we're going to go to outside board and committee reports, and we'll start with Commissioner Ortega today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I have a couple of shout-outs. The first one is probably LaVon Lee. She received the Opportunity Champion Award. So as many of you know, LaVon Lee has been a leader in the Native American community at least 40 years that I know of. And it was quite a pleasure to see her receive the award. The other is had a ribbon cutting. Two women businesses have come together and chose St. Paul to be their headquarters. And it was a great turnout. They had a lot of folks come in from around the metro area. It wasn't just a St. Paul event. And they're 2 young women with 2 separate companies. They're very dynamic. And so Elisa Dare Nelson and Sarah Krisha the two co-CEOs. And we wish them luck and glad they chose St. Paul in downtown St. Paul for their new company. The other is a shout out to the Highland District Council annual meeting. It was a very good meeting. Of course, the big issue it has to do with the bridge, the Highland development, and the fact that, you know, at least 50% of it has been stalled and not moving forward. So a lot of discussion about that. But it was a good district council meeting, always well attended, that goes without saying. And last but not least is the Gold Line Joint Powers Board. We had an organizational meeting. I am the chair for this year. We rotate the chairmanship, and we allocated funds for civil engineering in capital investments. So until we get our FTA grant approval, full grant approval, we have to fund the interim. And so we're moving forward. Construction is already going on. Excellent. And so all over the place. So it's all good news.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Ortega. Commissioner Fretham.
Yes, so last night, Commissioner Reinhardt and I joined the Joint Development Authority up at Rice Creek Commons, and a very exciting second meeting. The JDA authorized the solicitation on Outlot A, or the thumb parcel. So things are moving forward. That'll be posted. The goal is by mid-April to get requests for developer interest, and we're really hopeful we'll get some competitive, exciting bidders on that property that fit with the overall vision of the property, and that we are able to move forward with getting something built. So that was very exciting. As you mentioned, Commissioner Zhang, Commissioner Moran, and I were able to go to Washington, D.C. Early last week with Youth Justice Transformation, and we met with the Department of Youth Rehabilitative Services to learn about their work and how they work with youth involved in the criminal justice system. We were able to tour their pre-adjudication facility, their commitment facility, and their achievement centers for folks once they are back out in the community that can help them access resources and get any support that they need to be successful. It was a very informative trip. There was a lot of great conversations had with community members, our youth advisory council, different staff involved, and also a very fun night of karaoke. It's also fun to see a county attorney and public defender sing John Denver together. Not to throw anyone under the bus, but it was amazing. It was amazing. So great opportunity for us to really dig into this work and efforts and build a vision for how we will transform youth justice here in Ramsey County. Also, since we didn't meet last week, I'll note that we had the Waters Off event, 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning, and thanks to Commissioners McGuire and Commissioner Zhang, who also came out to thank all the great union employees going out to help people prep for the spring and check their water systems. And CAPRW is one of the two agencies that help find folks who need services. So excited to be there representing both Ramsey County and the CAPRW. And, you know, I don't like to get up that early, but when folks are given their day off to help people in our community, you got to show up and thank them. And thanks to the governor as well, who came and gave a proclamation to everyone. And then the Friday morning before that, Twin Cities North Chamber of Commerce held its county update with Anoka and Ramsey County, and thanks to County Manager Ryan O'Connor, who was out to give an update on what's going on in Ramsey County, along with the County Manager for Anoka County, Rhonda Sivaraja. So always a great update and to connect with the business community.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Fretham. Commissioner Reinhardt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And yes, the meeting last night was great. The only change that they made to the sale of the parcel A, right?
Lot A.
Okay. Anyhow, was that they wanted to make it faster. So they moved it up and said, we don't really need that much time in there, and really wanting to get something going while still honoring the time that we need to do that. And they were very clear about that. So, and that came from Commissioner Tom Fable, a member of the JDA. And it was pointed out that this was actually our first meeting, full meeting, and during the public comments, the chair said that, pointed out that we had been together for 10 minutes at that point as a full JDA, and we were ready to take action, and we did take action.
That's fantastic.
And so there's a lot that's happening there, but the excitement and the thoughtfulness of what we are embarking on, even though there's been a lot of frustration with how long everything has taken, this is the beginning. And so it was truly an exciting evening to be there and to really look at what the possibilities are. Yeah. Since we didn't meet last week, well, as the chair pointed out, we've all been up at the legislature testifying. It seems like sometimes nonstop, yes, and on about a half hour's notice as well. But it's all been very good, very well received, and we'll see where things end up here. Mm-hmm. But I did want to point out that since we didn't meet last week, I wanted to talk about two things that happened on Wednesday, the 22nd. First was the Maplewood Advisory Group and City Council meeting regarding the Purple Line and the alignment along the Bruce Vento Trail was the biggest item. As many people, I mean, everybody here knows, but I think most people probably even listening know that we did make a change that was in partnership with the Met Council, with everyone, basically, that's part of the Corridor Management Committee, and we're informed we have a Corridor Management Committee meeting coming up. Anyhow, that we are looking at the realignment off of the Vento Trail to White Bear Avenue. And I think it's not just about the trail, because we still need to make some improvements there. It needs to be ADA accessible, and so that more people can enjoy it. But we also have some opportunities along what would be, now why can't I think of it? Maryland.
In Maryland.
Yeah, turning right on Maryland, and then going over to White Bear Avenue and coming up. It brings back the possibility of going to Century College because of the realignment, and there are a number of other opportunities. And you look at along that line, the number of businesses and opportunities for employment and health care. I think that it is very exciting, and I'm just really hopeful that we'll be able to get this done. And when I was here the last time and reported on this, I said, well, that wasn't an option. But thanks to my colleagues and others, we were able to put our heads together and come up with something that I think is going to be a real improvement to the ridership and just the whole project. And so it's very exciting. Met Council is really just digging right in and saying, okay, yes, this is going to delay things a little bit, but we're going to get it done as quickly as we can. But we have to meet all of the federal guidelines. As we know, they're very rigid and for obvious reasons when you're talking about millions of dollars. Yeah. So very exciting. That same afternoon, I was part of, I'm co-chair of the Century Avenue Coalition, which is Washington County and Ramsey County and all of the communities along Century Avenue, otherwise known as Geneva or 120, depending on where you want to, what name you want to give it. But it's the county line between the two counties, and really looking at what we can do. So Washington County Commissioner Stan Karwoski and I have brought this group together. We had an initial meeting like about a year ago to say, hey, do we want to get together as a coalition? And so this was kicking that off and really looking at what the options are there for improvements. We had a Recycling and Energy Board meeting, and the other thing that I wanted to highlight was the Northland Cup for the St. Paul Intervention Project, Ramsey County and St. Paul Intervention Project for Domestic Violence. That was on Sunday. That was our 10th year of doing a charity function between the City of St. Paul and Ramsey County. We raised, as of that day, and I'm sure it's a lot more at this point because we have tried to publicize it a lot, we raised $17,500 for SPIP, is what we call it. And it was so much fun. And on a personal note, I just want to say that Trista's son, Soren, makes a great quiche. So I did well because I was able to take that home. Anyhow, but thank you. And it was just a lot of fun and such a worthy cause. And as we pointed out that day, every penny that was raised goes to saving lives.
That's right.
It's really what it comes down to.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Reinhardt. Commissioner Moran.
Okay, well, thank you, Madam Chair. So one of the things that I like about being county commissioner is the opportunity to go out into the community and speak and learn about all the partnerships that we have within Ramsey County. And for those that we don't, to introduce them to the work that the county is doing. Well, so I was invited to be a guest speaker for a group called the Capital Pathways, which is a program sponsored by the Citizen League in St. Paul. This is a program that provides young people the opportunity to learn about how the government works and engage with their community. I'm always excited to see young people getting involved in their community and taking an active interest in the political process. So it was inspiring for me to see the dedication and the excitement of these young people from diverse communities learn about government and how government affects their daily lives. I really do believe that programs like Capital Pathways are essential to shaping future leaders in our community. And it really is crucial that we provide young people opportunities to learn, to grow, and to make a positive impact on our society through their eyes and through the values that they bring. I was invited to go to Groveland Park Elementary School, the highlight of the day, to read to some preschool kids, right? They were just awesome. I walked in, they all came in from outside and gave me big hugs. Oh. Yeah, it was just awesome. And I was invited as part of promoting Women History Month. But really, really good time with those young students and holding their attention. We know how easy that is, right? I was also able to attend the Black Chamber annual meeting this past week, which was an opportunity to hear about the progress and the growth of Black businesses here in Minnesota. It was sold out. But it was really fun to meet and to just hear and learn what Black folks are doing here in the state of Minnesota with small businesses and being entrepreneurs and really investing their time and their lives in improving our state. Let's see. This was really exciting. I attended a graduation called the UX graduation. And this was a program that is exclusively for women on public assistance on the Minnesota Family Investment Program. This is the second cohort that WIB is hosting. So it is for women on public assistance to overcome the many barriers that they have and to look at the resiliency and the determination of going through this program was really amazing. There was one young mother there, IT, so it's all tech, right? All technical pieces, who was a mother of 8 and talked about the challenges of, it was virtual. She's at home with 8 kids, right? Trying to learn the basics of how to use a computer, things like copy and paste that we take for granted, and hearing that how patient they were with her. Many times when she didn't want to, share the struggles that she was having and wanting to quit, but they just pulled her back in and kept her there. And she was part of the graduating class. The training partners is called Hack the Gap. Hack, H-A-C-K, the Gap. It's a Black woman-run organization. And the program consists of certification in the UX design. Individuals connect with mentors, coaching by others in the tech industry, experience in digital communication within a hybrid setting, develop skills for time and project management, and the average wage that these young mothers can go into the industry making is $58K starting.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is the work that we're doing in workforce innovation right here in Ramsey County. So their next step is a work experience to apply their skills. And they also gave each young woman, each person, an Apple computer.
Nice.
All right? It was amazing to just watch them and listen to them share their journey. Let's see here. Oh, and a little bit about the trip to D.C. That was really organized by Elijah Norris Holiday, who did a wonderful job of organizing us, pulling us together, creating a process where we can go out into the community in D.C. and really look at the institution there. Let's see here. The Department of Youth Rehabilitative Services, DYRS, which is an achievement center concept that provides expanded workforce, education, mentorship, wraparound support, and overall positive rehabilitation for youth that traditionally would be committed to the Department of Correction and locked facilities. Beyond exploring the 2 achievement center sites, our delegation had the opportunity to ask questions about the history of the achievement center, the stakeholders involved in the process, including internal and external partners, the budgetary insight, which costs a lot of money. They have a nice budget. And overall of the programs and community partnership. And the overall impact the achievement have had on the youth and their families is an alternative to secure placement. And so what I really came out at the end, a couple of things that I really enjoyed was going into that facility and seeing just color. I never knew the value of color going into the space that lifts you up and make you feel something, make you feel good. I mean, bright, vivid colors, right? That's right. And it's not just important for the young boys that is a part of the institution, but it's also was great for the staff to go into a place that has color that inspires them. It's a place they want to be. So I want to encourage some of our places that have those white walls to put some color on those walls. It is so needed. And the other second thing I think that I heard loud and clear was the importance of community involvement, community engagement. 90% of the population of young boys who are part of the Achievement Center are African Americans. All the staff was African Americans. And one of the things that they said was that even when hiring people, they would go to the community, especially those who've been impacted by the system, because, you know, it's a good thing to engage. It's a good thing to hire people who have had encounters with the criminal justice system, who have been incarcerated, because they bring an insight and a perspective and a need that those young people can relate to, who can also say, you know, gosh, if you was been incarcerated, you came back out and you're successful, and now you're trying to give us some skills and some knowledge and some insight that other people cannot deliver because you haven't lived my experience. Was just awesome to see them do that. And for those who have been impacted by the system, who was working for them, they had relationships out in the community where they can go out into the community and talk to the community and say, do you know Frank Brown? And it was the community who say, nope, I don't think he's the one. He has one foot here in the community, one foot over in another place, and we don't think that he's ready. And they listen to that. And they would not hire that individual to be a part of their team. So, you know, race matter, those relationships, to have people in that system that looks like them, to be able to know the culture of the community. The Black community has a culture, and to be able to hire people to have that insight, to be relatable, to achieve the outcomes that is needed, I think is a lesson learned that was loud and clear for me, that I think can also be helpful in places where sometimes I feel and think that we don't trust the community to know what is best and what works best for the young men and women and mothers in our community. We can do this in partnership, but we can also allow them to lead in how we can do transformational work here in Minnesota to get the outcomes we want, to begin to eliminate the great disparities that we see within the Black communities and families, and to, you know, do things different. We don't have to keep doing things the way we've always done it to continue to get the same results we've been getting, to have the great disparities that we have.
That's right.
We need to listen and be better listeners. And that is one of the things that, you know, I know and I see in our vision, in our mission, in our value statement here in Ramsey County. And so it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing.
That's right.
And I will end there.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Moran. Commissioner Jean.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So in addition to the trip to DC with the youth justice transformation, we also took a tour of the Achievement Center, and I would just want to highlight that they listen to the youth and they provide the support, and everything is free for them, right? With what they needed. There were computers, there was a printing station, they even had a barber shop, a food pantry, a closet with like new clothes there, and then also they also had discussions about having a laundry facility or having some washer and dryer, because what they were hearing from a lot of the youth is that, you know, they get bullied, you know, with not having clean clothes. And so all the wraparound services and the support that's there was just really striking, or it just reaffirms. It reaffirms the path that we are on as a collective at the county here, about making sure that partners are essentially a part of that youth justice transformation, and making sure that there's restorative justice practices and also opportunities for the youth and their families to come together. So those were the big pieces. And again, the budget is a big part of that. And as I'm thinking about how we as a county are trying to piece things together, I think that's just something that we will just have to really wrestle with moving forward together. And then this has already been mentioned too, but the Purple Line. I just really want to thank the leadership of our board chair, Commissioner Mattis Castillo, from representing us on the tab, Regional Rail Chair Rafael Ortega, and Commissioner Reinhardt for your continuous, unwavering leadership on this project, because when it seemed like there were so many hurdles and stops, or that it could have just stopped completely, you all were creative and were supportive. And so I really appreciate the policymaking process and our windows of opportunities here, where I have been banging the drum about, let's make White Bear Avenue like safer to cross. Let's make sure that it connects the east side to opportunities. And so I believe that the Purple Line, with its rerouting onto White Bear Avenue, is a huge opportunity for that. And I've heard really good things. So I got several emails from our district councils, from residents, and also I'm sure from folks who I talked to on the campaign trail who didn't want the Bruce Bentel Trail to be used as a route. So I think a lot of people are pleased, and I've also heard from the businesses who are ready for the investments and also the engagement around this. So I'm really excited for that. And finally, I went to Phelan Lake Elementary last week. They invited me to speak about what it's like to be a county commissioner. And this is their first time hosting a career exploration, and this is an elementary school in the St. Paul Public School District. And I spoke with the first graders, and I asked them about what makes a good community. So they brought up, about housing, about people need housing, they need food, they need clean air, clean land, water, and one of the most striking one was also that they needed Wi-Fi. That was a piece, and so I think that just really reinforces our path on working about digital equity. That we do really have to take the input of our youngest people, like they're our future. And they're growing up in an age of Wi-Fi and technology and advancing us. So I'm just super proud of the earlier presentation that we got from the county team on the digital equity work. So those are all the things that I'm super proud of. And finally, I just want to say kudos to Winona Yang, who's my principal assistant, who helped put together an awesome presentation and slide for the first graders that was able to generate such great conversations from them.
Excellent. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Commissioner Zhang. Commissioner McGuire.
I love it. I hope maybe we can see that slideshow because the number of us get invited to these classrooms. It would be great to see that slideshow presentation. So thank you for that. And speaking of speaking in classrooms, and I know we've had Commissioner Zhang and Commissioner Moran talk about that and the importance of role models. And this is Women's History Month, and so I was speaking several years ago. Actually, I was speaking to a group of third graders. And it just struck me because as I was talking about what a county commissioner does, and I hadn't talked at all about it, being it wasn't Women's History Month. I wasn't talking at all about, any gender. And a little boy raises his hand and he says, "Can boys do this too?" Oh. I know. I mean, it was like I hadn't even talked about gender. Yeah. I had just talked about what we were doing, but just the importance of role models, just seeing me up there and talking about all the work that we do. So kudos to all the role models in the world, but also, yes, boys can do this too. I told them, I said, if you work really hard, you can do this too. So it was a great event. So after our last board meeting, it's been 2 weeks. Of course, we all have long reports here, but we all toured the service center, our service center in Maplewood, and it was a great event to see that community service center that members of our public can go to and get services that they need from Ramsey County. So kudos to everyone who's working on our service centers and making them the best that they can be. Also, I just want to give a shout out to my local elected mayors and city council members. I'm meeting with all of I have 5 cities, and I'm meeting with all of them, in different coffees and lunches, just to get a sense of, what's going on in the community. And of course, our cities are doing such amazing work, and it's just been really great to connect with all of them. So shout out to all my local elected officials in Ramsey County. So also, my staff attended the Rice-Larpenteur board meeting, so we're so excited that the Rice-Larpenteur Alliance board meeting are still going on. Thanks to our staff to Brian O'Connor, Lydia Gurma, and Ling Becker, of course, for hosting the NACO, our National Association of County Officials, came to do a site visit for my NACO board meeting that will be in December, but they're working on a mobile workshop that we are going to get to do this fall, but the mobile workshop is around workforce solutions, the 3M Innovation Center, and I'm just so grateful for the team for putting that all together for the site visit. It was great to Commissioner Zhang and I provided feedback at the Metropolitan Council Transportation Policy Planning Zoom call, actually, and it was really great to hear what Met Council is hoping to do with our members of our Public Works Department. And so that was a good event. It was great to be at the Waters Off event, which Commissioner Fretham has already talked about. So thanks. Kudos to all of our labor workers who give up their Saturday to help people with their plumbing and their water. And we had an Active Living Ramsey Communities meeting. And Commissioner Matas Castillo, thank you for coming to the meeting and kicking it off with our climate change presentation. We had over, oh my gosh, we had 60 people signed up. I think 50 people showed up on our Zoom call to really listen to our climate change work, and they are so excited. People are very excited about all of our work in climate change, and we have a great presentation that I know was prepared for an event that Commissioner Reinhardt was also working on. So thanks to everyone, and I'm actually giving that same presentation now because I was at a University of Minnesota event because of Dave Senjum, who's working on clean energy and sustainable energy. He invited me to an event at the University of Minnesota with Sabine, Professor Sabine, who's working on climate change and sustainability, and so I'm presenting to a university class this Thursday. So our climate change work is getting out there, and they really want to work with us. So they have some interns that want to, work with us. So the young people really, of course, care about this issue. So I'm glad we're moving forward with great excitement on this. Also, a few of us, Commissioner Matas Castillo and I, were at an Association of Minnesota Counties Leadership Summit this past week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was all about connecting and connecting with purpose and trust. And we always, these leadership summits are such great opportunities to connect with our colleagues from around the state, but also to really take time to just improve and get inspired with our own leadership. So it was a great event. Also, I was lucky to go out to DC, and during Women's History Month, I was invited because of my leadership in our national association. But it was great to be at an event at the White House celebrating women's history. I met a number of elected officials there, but also met the woman who heads up the military space force. And also there's a woman that's directing the National Women's Soccer League. So I mean, just a number of women leaders it was very exciting. And then Commissioner Matas Castillo and I were fortunate to be at the event yesterday with the president in town, celebrating the work that Cummins is doing around energy and great. I'm trying to remember isosceles, what they're making. And so it was great to be electrometers. Thank you. So it was great to be, with a number of people at the presidential visit yesterday. So with that, I am going to just wish everyone happy Easter Passover holiday that's coming up.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner McGuire. Just a couple most things have been covered. I'll just add, I also was involved with a tour and conference around geothermal energy that our steam fitter and pipe fitters put on in coordination with some environmental groups to really think about thermal energy. The exciting part there, and as you know, the steam fitter, pipe fitters are in Ramsey County. They're a great union partner, but in the jobs force, they have actually just been certified to be able to do PSEO for the first time, to engage young kids of color in particular into the trades and learn about plumbing and pipe fitting, but specifically in green energy. So they'll be kicking off their first ever PSEO. So that is high school students, 11th and 12th graders, being able to learn the trades, getting an associate's degree at the same time in the trades, allowing them to start jobs, really high-paying jobs, when they graduate high school. So really a great opportunity. Our trade partners are really leaning into building the workforce of the future, but also leaning into green energy. President Biden shouted out to our IBEW 110 that's working really hard on solar and wind power, right? Our union partners that are really looking at what is the job force of the future, and then how do we engage to make sure that we're making that job force open to everyone and reducing barriers around diplomas and degrees that we have kind of realize that that's not always what we need to get really good, high-paying jobs. So pretty exciting there. So I just wanted to share that as well. And then I just wanted to add to Commissioner Reinhardt talking about our fundraiser at SPIP. And so I have something to share with you all. We won the Northland Cup. So not only did we raise 18, a weapon in the courthouse. Yeah. Not only did we raise $18,000 really for families experiencing violence, which is an incredibly important cause. We had a little fun doing it, and thank you to Sheriff Bob Fletcher, who coached the winning team this year and did a great job. And the team was good. We won 8-2. It was pretty good. And it's been a few years, so the city of St. Paul is no longer gloating. And so we will be visiting a city council meeting in the near future to pin them with Ramsey County pins. As you remember, we were all pinned last year, so we will be visiting a city council meeting to return that. But we get to hold on to the stick for a year, and if folks want to continue to donate, this is the biggest fundraiser for St. Paul Partners in Prevention of the year, and 100% of the proceeds go to them serving families experiencing violence. That you can still do that, and you can go online to their website, partnersinprevention.org, and make a donation. It's really an important cause and a great opportunity to have a little fun for a really serious issue in our community. So I'm going to wrap up there. There's lots of things we could talk about, but I want to get to our really important HRA meeting that Commissioner Zhang will chair shortly.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
before I go,
Yes,
I really wanted to end on that high note there.
Yeah.
Because that was a good high note. We won.
We won. That's right. That's right.
But I'm gonna request to just share one thing I did not share.
Sure.
That I must lift up because I attended a funeral on Sunday. This is why I was not there for Vic Rosenthal,
Oh, yes.
who is a longtime leader in the Jewish community. He has been an unwavering advocate for social justice, and he died last Tuesday at the age of 68. You know, he's a New York native who found a home in St. Paul where he worked for racial justice, voting rights, gay marriage, rights for immigrants, affordable housing, and other issues. And for nearly 18 years, he was the executive director of the Jewish Community Action in St. Paul, which organized around progressive issues such as poverty, racism, and injustice.
Right.
So I just wanted to talk about that because I know I'm going to be putting together a proclamation to present to his family.
Excellent.
He has been an awesome, awesome champion for so long. And, you know, as someone who is new to Minnesota, Vic, held me up so many times. So I just wanted us to be able to say that out loud to us.
Yes.
He will be missed.
Thank you, and I think it's totally appropriate to lift Vic up as we wrap up this meeting. He has left a permanent impact on our community, so thank you for that, Commissioner Moran. So we are going to adjourn. Commissioner Zhang will lead our HRA meeting, and then we will take a quick 5-minute break between the meetings so we can set up, and then come back with a strategic team, committee of the whole workforce statistics report. With that, we are adjourned.